Hey guys, today we have for you Ryan Tisbe's yellow hybrid list. What was your exact placement?
I got top 16. I got 16.
Oh yeah, top 16, that's right. Take the floor.
All right, for sure. So I decided to run this list just because it was just kind of a comfort pick. Played a lot in BT9 and BT8 and BT7. So it was either this or Armors. And I mean, this is probably one of my favorite decks to play. We'll start off with the eggs first. Just 4 of Upamons, yellow Upamons. If you're at 3 or less security, when you swing, you draw 1. A lot of the times when you raise, you're going to be at that point. With my yellow hybrid list, I like to be around that 3 life range. So this is just kind of the perfect egg. I don't have a 5th egg because I'd rather just guarantee the consistency. And then let's go on to some of the card choices. So 2 DeathX. A lot of lists just run 1. I run 2 because, again, I run the Rise engine. So half the time I don't have the luxury of running as many rapids as other lists do. So being able to hard drop this is pretty good. And then certain matchups, TKing to grab it out. I mean, it wasn't that bad. I didn't really play it as often as I thought I was going to, but I mean, the card was clutch nonetheless. I'd still keep it at 2, just the way the list is. With this deck, you get so much memory, and like dropping this for like 11 or even for 8 doesn't feel bad at all. Mm-hmm. Having it at 2 feels correct to me. We'll go to the Tamers next. Probably the MVP of the day. Luckily, we had mulligans, and this is the one card I always try to mulligan for. The boy, TK. Mm-hmm. Allows you to play with 2 hands, your security and your actual hand. Most of the games I was able to win because I'd see TK early. The best card in the game when it comes to unbricking your hand. This is the only card where, like, if I didn't have this in my hand, I have to mulligan. The other Tamers, I ran 3 TK Karis. Like I said, the way I play yellow hybrids, I teeter with death a lot, so I get really close to dying. So I get max value out of this. I used to run this at 4, and then only 2 of this Tamer. But so I used to do like 4-2, but I decided I am aggressive to a point to where this comes in more useful late game versus this. I like this with the Rise engine because you can kind of debate people, because the bad thing about this deck with yellow hybrids, you want them to swing because you want them to hit your Tamers out of security and give you more value. But the minute you play this, they're not going to swing. So having the Rise engine feels good with having this many copies of this card, because you could just kind of debate them into swinging, clear the board, play this. Next turn, you're at like 7 or 9 memory. This Tamer is just self-explanatory. Yellow, red. This is for the late game. It just gives you more memory for the late game. It lets your body swing and not die. 3 Codys.
Oh, one question before we move on. Given the position to drop at either one during, say, you go off your first Rise, what would you recommend dropping if you had both in your hand? Well, like, what do you find more valuable?
Like I said, I always let them. Most of the time, I don't like to hard drop this Tamer because I want them to swing.
Right.
So usually, like, when I do the Rise combo, this is the first Tamer to get dropped. Mm-hmm. I'd rather drop these than drop that, because I could always drop this and then they'll still swing. They just won't put me at 3.
Correct. Yeah.
Where this, they just won't swing at all. Mm-hmm. So something like I said, with this deck, I want them to swing. So that just kind of, the Rise engine lets me kind of play those Tamers.
And multiple TK cards when it's going to proc.
Yeah, when it's going to proc. Because
that makes sense.
Because that's the issue with the deck, is when the other person doesn't swing. So, I mean, if you haven't realized, when you play yellow hybrids, don't swing unless you can OTK. Otherwise, you're playing into the deck. But that's why I run 3. That's why I was running 4, is because I literally just debate people, let them swing, hard drop all of them with the Rise combo, clear board, and now next turn I have hella memory. I usually don't ever drop this because I want them to swing.
Right.
And then 3 Codys, I don't run Zoe at all because I don't think there's not enough value to do it. There's not enough Digimon in the deck where having the Zephyr boost really matters. Like, there's nothing where I'm going to like boost and then it'll kill Melga or kill something else. So I don't think it's that good of a defensive card. And then it's so often than not you Zoe and you whiff. So I'd rather just have the Codys because, again, I have the Rise engine. And extra memory is always good. Now for the rookies. I have a very interesting rookie count. 2 Pilomons. Setcon's a thing. Bloomlord's a thing. Setcon, Bloomlord, Crossheart's a thing. This just kind of stops it. With yellow hybrids, the rookies, I kind of feel like it doesn't really matter which rookies you choose. It's just personal preference. Next 2 rookies, 2 Lotmons. Lotmon's super clutch. Like I said, there are a lot of the times versus players where they don't swing. Lotmon lets me turn on TK Kari when I need it to get turned on. I played a Setcon, and when I play against Setcon, if I'm not mulliganing for TK, I'm mulliganing for Lotmon, because the fact that I just hard drop it, It just speeds up the game tremendously. So this card's pretty clutch. Another good way to unbrick. Some of the other yellow rookies don't really feel too good, like Salah. I never really raise a blank rookie unless I'm trying to go into Rapid Mon. So Salah doesn't really make sense. Lotmon just kind of made sense to me. Yeah. You take a life and you draw. And then lastly, 2 Patamons. This was a last minute change. I was playtesting with one of the teammates and I just realized, you know what, I think 1 extra memory goes a long way and it definitely helped out a lot. So it was a good switch. I was thinking about 4 Patamons, but I'd rather just have Lotmon because the value that Lotmon gives in certain matchups and then the ability to draw is very useful as well.
Especially early game when that's the slowest I think Yellow Hybrid is.
Yeah.
Playing it from my personal aspect, if you're not set up with Tamers or you're bricking Tamers, Lotmon's a really good answer to solve.
And like you have the luxury of Venusmon, so it's like certain times that you should have died before where Lotmon wasn't a good card to play, now you don't die because you have Venusmon. So that's another reason to run Lop. Let's go with level 4s. I have 4 Kazes, 4 Zephyrs. Self-explanatory. I play very conservative with my hybrids because I like to OTK with this deck. So 8's the correct amount. If you run less, I mean, I've seen people run less, but I run 8 just for the consistency purposes. I don't have Zoe, so I always want to make sure I see one. And then I run 2 Rapids. A lot of people run 4. I only run 2 because I run 2 DeathX, and I have the Rise engine. I was only 1 the night before until one of my teammates started bodying me with Bloom, and then I was like, all right, maybe I should put 2. And 2 was a good amount. It came up in certain matches that it did come up, and I saw it when I needed to see it, so I believe 2 is correct. I would not run 3. And then 1 Pedo. At first, this card kind of felt bad, but certain matchups it kind of felt good. It's really there because it's just a 1-cost Evo.
Right.
If I had to cut a card for a different card, this is the first card to go. And then let's go level 5s. 1 Jet Sylphie, self-explanatory. 1-cost recover. If you run yellow hybrids, you gotta run that one of Jet Sylphie. 2 yellow Rise Grays and then 1 red Rise. I just like having the red Rise because it's too good to be able to drop a TK and actually get the effect. And then the one attacking effect is too clutch as well. Neg 2K it gives so much value to the Rise X and it gives so much value to your Venusmon. So the fact that this could swing in Prop Cody is pretty good as well.
Yes, sir.
This 3 of seems correct at times 2. However, I feel like 1 Rise Gray just gets you to the point where you'll have game because you'll probably swing for 2, they're at 3, and then you just hybrid for game. Right. So I think only 2, this split's correct in my opinion. And then 3 Rise X, another MVP of the day. It's too good. You play it, like the Rise combo is way too good, in my opinion, not to play when you play yellow hybrids. You play 2 Tamers and you clear a board. Yeah. It's a little too much value. And you're drawing every time because the Evo costs are so cheap. So I think this is a great card. Even when you don't Evo on top of Rise Gray for 4 costs and playing a Tamer, it's not the worst. It's not ideal, but it's not the worst. It gets a pretty big DP boost. So, it's literally outside of TK and Venusmon, this is probably the second MVP, or the third MVP of the day. And then the real reason why we run the deck, Venusmons. So literally, this was my win con almost versus every other deck. The fact that I could get so much memory and then Digi into Venus, pass you turn, you can't do anything, and I still go back to so much memory is just so busted. Like the fact that I can hit you for 2 if I have a riot. If I do this combo, I hit you for 2, and then I Venusmon to turn off your turn, and I still have all these Tamers that are going to be giving me this extra memory to OTK you next turn. I mean, that's literally how I won most of my games for that day. So this card won me so many matchups. A lot of the times, like, I'd play this card when I'm near death, they can't kill me, and I just kill them next turn. So this card's a little too good in my opinion. Probably the best card that's not being overplayed right now. A lot of people misplay because of this, and they don't realize. Like, I played against a Mastery player, and they literally had the Sec +1 Andromon, and then Digivolved into a Fawny, and I told them you can't recover, and that just ended up losing them the game. So this card's pretty good. I wouldn't run it at 4 because you see it enough at 3. But yeah, this card's pretty good. I mean, this literally is the reason why I'm playing this deck still. If we didn't have Venusmon, Yellow Hybrids would be dead. And next we'll do options. 2 yellow memory boosts. Just for consistency. If I don't see the rookie, I could do this, and 2 memory is always good. If I need to see Venus, I'll see Venus. If I need the Rise Gray, I can see Rise Gray. 2 yellow memory boost felt really good. If it gets hit in security, you're about to punish them next turn because you're going to have all this extra memory to use. 2 Wyverns. I run 2 Wyverns because Melga. I'd rather have them hit this and be able to kill Melga than have them hit the new BT 10 option, which I didn't know what it actually did until the day of. The card's actually pretty cracked. Now that I know that you can actually proc both effects when you're at 3 security, I mean, this card's really good. I don't know why it's a common, but this was like my sense of these were my security bombs. Wyverns was really good. This card was really good. Like, I wouldn't run more or less. I was thinking about Holy Flame, but I mean, Holy Flame really wouldn't do too much in this format, I feel like, because I have Venusmon in the deck. So all the instances where like Holy Flame would have saved me, like I could have Venus to save me as well. So and then 1 reinforcing and then 1 sunrise. So 1 else. Self-explanatory. A mem boost where you recover, and then a removal where you play a Tamer.
And then just to talk about some of your matchups, what would you say was your most challenging matchup of the day?
I had a pretty wide spread. I played different decks every matchup. Like, obviously the one matchup I lost to was Melga because I just had very bad security in the 3rd game. If I TK and I have 4 rookies in security, I don't really expect to win that game.
Especially if you run only 6.
Yeah, especially when you only run 6 and you're playing Melga of all decks. Most challenging game I had was versus Beelstar.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that was actually the hardest matchup. That was the best games. Beelstar is rough because they just drop big bodies
that don't have when attacking.
When attacking or when digivolving effects. And then you can tell how good a Beelstar player is or how well versed they are with a deck is when they drop DeathX, give you hella memory knowing that I don't have a solid way to remove it. That was really rough too. So that Beelstar match, we almost went to time. That took a lot. It took maximum brain power. I think I should have 2-0'd him. I was a little bit greedy because I thought I could. I went for 3 hybrid swings thinking I could get the 4th hybrid off the 3 draws, and I didn't. And I ended up not seeing a hybrid until I ended up losing the game. The 3rd game, I really thought I was going to lose, but I mean, the fact that I ran 2 DeathX's just kind of saved me.
What would you say was the easiest matchup of the day?
Easiest matchup was my last matchup. I mean, every time I play Secon with yellow hybrids, it was pretty free. Like, you'd imagine yellow hybrids versus Secon was going to take, like, what, maybe we would go to time. I kind of finished the game in, like, 15 minutes. That was
Both
probably
games?
both games within 15 minutes. That was probably the quickest game. But it's just because so many people in Vegas play they played Secon when I was playing yellow hybrids in previous formats, so I kind of understand the matchup a lot, and Lotmon was MVP, so. My build, it's very aggressive. If you're more defensive, I would probably recommend the Shakua route, where you're recovering more. This build's very aggressive. I have a lot of people that try my builds and it doesn't work for them because they're not swinging aggressively enough. So this build's very aggressive. Just know that. And yeah, don't be afraid to go in.